Because energy is a basic human right, a right we bring to places that previously had no energy. And for people on the move, we move raw data so that it becomes information for smoother running, more efficient cities. Every day, our world asks for more reliable power. But our resources are limited. That's why we make better use of what's around us, giving clean, sustainable energies a solid chance in the future. So while we help industry and productivity, we never forget what's at the end of the day. Not everyone knows us, and fewer may see us, but we are the global specialists in energy management and automation. We are Schneider Electric. And in everything we do, we make sure that even while you're asleep, life is on.
Selamat pagi dan selamat datang Bapak Ibu sekalian. Welcome to all of you. Pada pagi hari ini kita berkumpul bersama di acara Schneider Electric Life is on Innovation Summit 2017. Supaya lebih semangat, boleh kita tepuk tangan dulu untuk kita semua yang sudah hadir. Thank you so much ladies and gentlemen for joining us today. Bapak Ibu sekalian, senang sekali saya Sasha Lauder. I will be your MC for today. Saya akan menemani Anda dan memandu Anda dari acara pagi hari ini sampai dengan sore nanti. Tapi sebelum kita memulai rangkaian acara, saya ingin sekali untuk menyapa terlebih dahulu para tamu VIP yang juga telah bergabung bersama dengan kita. Saya ingin ucapkan selamat pagi dan selamat datang kepada Ibu Marices selaku Direktur Aneka Energi Baru dan Energi Terbarukan. Kami ucapkan selamat pagi dan selamat datang pula kepada Bapak Dr. Insinyur Tumiran, Master of Engineering, Member of Dewan Energi Nasional. Terima kasih karena telah bergabung bersama dengan kami Pak, selamat pagi. Selamat pagi pula kepada Bapak Ignatius Rendroyoko, selaku Kepala Kelompok Kerja Smart PLN. Selamat pagi Bapak. Dan juga kepada Bapak Profesor Insinyur Ontoseno Penangsang, Dosen Institut Teknologi 10 November Surabaya. Selamat pagi. Kami ucapkan pula kepada Bapak Profesor Dr. Muktasor selaku dosen Institut Teknologi Surabaya yang juga sudah bergabung bersama dengan kami. Bapak Ibu sekalian, pada kesempatan kali ini saya ingin menjelaskan sedikit, tentunya tadi mungkin Bapak Ibu sudah melihat sedikit area foyer di luar, sudah terdapat Innovation Hub. Bapak Ibu mungkin sudah melihat juga beberapa solusi ataupun juga inovasi yang dihadirkan oleh Schneider Electric. Perusahaan yang tidak asing lagi tentunya karena perusahaan global ini di bidang pengelolaan energi dan juga otomasi sudah hadir di Indonesia selama kurang lebih 43 tahun. Menemani setiap perkembangan untuk pengelolaan energi yang terjadi di Indonesia. Dan juga Bapak Ibu sekalian, pada kesempatan kali ini kami mengundang Anda semua untuk turut bergabung di acara kami Schneider Electric Life is on Innovation Summit 2017. Mungkin Anda merupakan the stakeholders, pemangku kepentingan, Anda mungkin merupakan pengambil keputusan, atau mungkin juga Bapak Ibu sekalian merupakan akademisi. Kita hari ini akan membahas bersama isu-isu terkini dalam bidang bisnis energi, pengelolaan energi, dan kita akan mempelajari lebih lanjut kira-kira inovasi ataupun juga solusi apa yang terbaru yang dapat ditawarkan oleh Schneider Electric. Bapak Ibu sekalian, tentunya acara ini juga merupakan perwujudan kami memiliki slogan yang kami katakan sebagai Life is on. Nah, Life is on ini merupakan komitmen kami ingin terus untuk bisa menyediakan solusi untuk pengelolaan energi dan juga otomasi yang aman, terkoneksi, handal, dan pastinya ini bisa dinikmati oleh siapapun, kapanpun, dan dimanapun. Kita jadikan segala sesuatu ini menjadi lebih mudah untuk Bapak Ibu sekalian. Dan untuk membuka acara pada kesempatan kali ini kita akan mendengarkan ada opening keynote. And after the opening keynote we will follow several panel discussions. Akan ada beberapa diskusi panel yang akan membahas beberapa isu, nanti akan saya jelaskan lebih lanjut. Tapi mengenai opening keynote ini sendiri akan membahas betapa Schneider Electric ini mempersembahkan innovation at every level. Kita hadirkan inovasi di setiap level melalui produk-produk yang saling terkoneksi. Ada di dalamnya beberapa aplikasi dan juga ada fungsi analitik. Ini akan memudahkan Bapak Ibu sekalian seperti apa sih Anda bisa mengendalikan ataupun juga monitoring, Anda bisa monitor secara lebih efisien lagi kondisi yang terjadi mungkin di gedung, perkantoran, pabrik, ataupun mungkin juga di perkotaan. Kita akan lihat lebih lanjut lagi dan inovasi dari Schneider ini terangkum dalam apa yang kita sebut sebagai eco-structure. Eco-structure ini apa? Kalau saya boleh cerita sedikit, ini merupakan arsitektur ataupun juga platform teknologi yang menggabungkan beberapa hal. Di dalamnya digabungkan ada energi, automasi, dan juga software. Ini akan menunjang sekali untuk Bapak Ibu sekalian bisa mengelola energi secara lebih baik, lebih efisien, lebih aman, dan everything is connected. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the stage to present the opening keynote for today, the country president of Schneider Electric Indonesia. Please give a warm applause to Mr. Xavier Denoli.
Selamat pagi, selamat datang. Saya Xavier Denoli, country president for Schneider Electric in Indonesia, and it's my honor and pleasure to be in front of you this morning to introduce our latest babies. You will see the new Schneider under this complicated word, eco-structure, as we say in Indonesia, right? So, without further ado, I will say a few words about Schneider Electric, who we are, if you don't know already. I will go quickly on that part. And then, moving on, I will introduce you gradually into the new world of energy. The new direction that Schneider Electric is taking, it's both more of the same in terms of excellence and quality in products and solutions, but going a lot further in terms of integration and value for you, dear customers. So this is our honor also to have this Innovation Summit. This is the third time we do this in Asia. We did it first time last September in Singapore, about 2-3 weeks ago in Seoul in Korea, and today in our very own Jakarta, and we are very proud about it. So thank you in advance for your attention, and I will walk you through. So Schneider Electric is the global specialist in energy management and automation. This is our mission. We are in this business line, and we are a fairly big company with roughly 25 billion euro in terms of business, which positions us in the top league in terms of industry actors as a global company. Secondly, we have roughly, to sustain this, 160,000 colleagues around the world, and our company has got this unicity of being extremely well balanced across geographies. Roughly 1/3 of our people and business is in the Americas, so North America and South America, 1/3 in Asia, out of which Indonesia, and 1/3 in the middle, that is Europe, Middle East, Africa. So a very well-balanced company, and we make a lot of efforts to localize our organizations as much as possible so that we understand as well as possible what are the requirements from the local customers, and we can benefit from the leverage of being a global company. We invest roughly 5% of our revenues into R&D, which has been a constant now for the past decades, which allows us to present to you all the booths and all the equipment that you will see outside. We are not Samsung. This is not a Samsung seminar, just in case you wonder, with so many monitors around the place. This is Schneider Electric, the new Schneider Electric. Our end markets, the markets that we served, this one is also a constant. Our largest business by far, which is also our historical business, is in the building sector. In the building sector, it ranges from residential, your home and apartments, all the way to more complicated or critical types of building, being, for example, hospitals, shopping malls. This hotel is what we call a building. And as you can understand, there is a huge amount of energy management behind this, a huge amount of intelligence needed in order to have what we call an efficient building. So building is about a little bit short of half of our business, Then we have also another historical position in industry, in which we have been known for many years as one of the leading companies in the world of machine, so that would be for the OEM market, and process automation. So another key stakeholder here, and here the customers would be, for example, in oil and gas, for example, in food and beverage industry, and that kind of applications. Then we have a significant part of our business in what we call infrastructure. And infrastructure is clearly an airport, a seaport, whereby it's like a complete system in itself. It's like a complete city in itself, if you want, with a designated purpose. For example, in an airport, you can understand how important is automation and energy management. And finally, data center and networks, about 14% of our business. Here it's a completely different environment. Here we are in the world of banks, telecom, whereby these people by nature, it's not their core business, but they have to rely and operate on very strong, top quality data centers. The quality of the data, of course, is in the hands of the operators, the banks and the telecoms, but the quality of the system itself, the reliability, the fact that this system never goes out of power is our business. And we have huge solutions and very innovative solutions in this world of data centers in order to power the data center and also bring secure power to the environment. The business of Schneider, this is how we define it. We ensure that life is on for everyone, everywhere, at every moment. We are in the business of electricity. You can all imagine that everyone here in this room, everyone is using electricity. There is still a portion of our people in our country who still have no easy access to electricity or no access at all. And you can imagine that for these people, life is a lot more complicated. They cannot access all the developments of the modern world, let's say, without the electricity. So life is on is our motto, and without life, there is no light, there is no power, there is no entertainment, there is no business, there is no IT, nothing. Who could imagine this today? All of us who are fortunate not to be in this situation, but again, we never forget at Schneider Electric that it is not yet 100% of the world population who has this access to electricity. So what we do, our business is, we are a technology company and we develop products, systems, solutions, and services to ensure that life is on for all. A bit more data. When is life on? Life is on when it's energized, right? Most of the buildings today, most of the people are moving from rural areas to the cities. This is a mega trend of our generations. It will continue. It will probably continue to accelerate in the future. People live in cities. The standard of living is rising, which is good news. Therefore, the demand for electricity is also rising very, very rapidly. So challenge number one is to be able to ensure that we can deliver the energy to ensure to face the consumption which is coming ahead. Electricity is a clean energy once it's produced, right? There's huge debates on the cleanliness of the production plants of the past, let's say, coal production, but there are many, many new systems that allow clean production of electricity. The obvious one is renewables, and you will see a little bit in the booth that you see. So electricity will grow twice faster than any other form of consumption of energy. And finally, 2.3 billion people on this planet out of 7, so which is still a very big percentage, have no access to or reliable access to electricity. In Indonesia, 85% of the population has good access to the grid. 15% are still not yet. Efficiency. You understand that the world of today is a world where efficiency matters. Gone are the days where we would produce energies to the maximum peak at all times to ensure that we can cover, without any fault, all the peaks of consumptions. There is so much of a waste on that, doing that. So efficiency in production, efficiency in grid management, efficiency in building management, Does it make sense to keep the AC on at all times in every room of this hotel if there is no one inside? So efficiency is a real important driver, and it's also linked to the climate change, but I will come back to it in a minute. Most of the efficiency efforts we can make are either in building or industry, which are the two largest consumers of energy, and we still have a huge effort to make this collectively. The third dimension here is the connectivity. It speaks to all of you in your daily life. All of you have a mobile phone. All of you have a PC or laptop. You know what that means, right? You cannot imagine your life of today being non-connected. Imagine what happens for most people if you lose your telephone, your smartphone. You are kind of lost, right? You cannot speak to your friends anymore. You cannot do your work. There is less and less paper. So it becomes like a slavery, right? We are all slaves of this digitization. But not slaves in the negative sense of the term. We need to extract the best out of it. It's a tremendous opportunity. And some factors here that are shown here on the screen is 7 billion people on the planet. We will have a lot more connected devices than people in the very near future by 2020. All these connected devices, it's not just a matter of connecting them, but it's more to extract value of the fact that it's connected. Why do you want to have your fridge connected if it brings no value to you, right? It's like a gimmick, right? So it's not going in this direction, and at Schneider Electric, we take it extremely seriously, and this is our main direction in terms of investment and development. And finally, of course, software is behind everything. And this is known. You all know this, right? Software is where the value is. The hardware is like the infrastructure in which the software is moving. The climate change. This is the biggest issue that we have to face. It's the legacy of the past, but it's also our present responsibility for the future, for your children, my children, and the following generations. Because the world is moving fast, the number of people on the planet will be very soon, now it's 7 billion, will be 9 billion before the end of the century. In 1900, there was only 1 billion people on the planet. When you think along these lines, it's quite scary. It's going exponential. All these people will need to have access to some energy, and we are going to increase very drastically the consumption in the coming decades. That's number one. But in parallel, the biggest challenge we have is the warming. The warming of the planet because of the CO2 emissions that we human beings generate. So at the same time that the consumption will increase, the emission of CO2 will have to be divided by 2 if we want to maintain the temperature of this planet in a livable area. So which means that efficiency becomes the one important thing. We need to be a lot more efficient in what we do, to do either more with what we have or use less to do the same thing as what we do today. So efficiency is the name of the game. Every time there is a challenge, you can look at it 2 ways. It can be seen as a disaster, or it can be seen as a tremendous opportunity. And we believe that we have a tremendous opportunity to change the situation. And when I say we, I'm not saying Schneider Electric is. Schneider Electric is one of the actors of this transformation. All of you are participating to it. All of you in your individual businesses, competencies are there to co-create the future. And the summit that we're having here is to give insights on what we can do together in order to create this future. So the future will be, and you understood this, more electric, more digitized, more decarbonized, we have to reduce the emissions, and more decentralized. We have not talked about it yet, but decentralized means that we come from a century, last century, where a lot of the things, the directions were being kind of control and command, coming from somewhere going down to everyone. Typical example would be the utility companies generating power for the country, right? And it would be a single flow from the power generation plant to the consumer. This world is completely changing. Now there is a lot more interconnection across the different actors. And we have a lot of companies that we call prosumers that actually doing their own business and generate their energy for their own consumption or resell this energy to the grid. So it's making this whole game, which has been the same roughly for 1 century, suddenly all the roles are changing, and we view that again as another opportunity to do a better job collectively. So where is this efficiency coming from? There is something that you hear all the time, which is, can be seen as a buzzword. It's IoT. IoT means Internet of Things. Behind this, let's be very simple and direct. What is a thing? This is a thing, right? At Schneider Electric, the things is the products and the solutions we have been putting on the markets for decades, and we keep doing the best possible job with those things. So Internet of Things means that we bring some connectivity, some intelligence, if you will, intelligence to those devices that we are all familiar with. So this will remain, if you want, as the foundation of the world, the new added layer in the intelligence embedded. And to do IoT, Internet of Things, it starts with very good things. And we are very proud in our company to say that we produce very good things, being the products that we put on these markets. So that's one. A transformation which is coming is the mobility, of course. All of you have a mobile phone. I have one here, okay? So you live with it, you sleep with it, I know. Huh? So mobility and analytics. Analytics is another big driver. What does that mean simply is more and more we are generating data, more and more we are storing data in data centers, in huge servers. But what for? If it's huge amount of data and we don't use it, it's just called big data, means useless. The value will come from the analytics and from what we do with this data and the value that we create by using this data in a smart manner. So that's IoT. If you combine this IoT, so the evolution of the world, with those technologies that Schneider has been involved in for years, energy, automation, increasingly in software, we have a convergence between what we call the operating technology world, typically motor control, motor starters in our business, circuit breakers, that kind of stuff, MV switchgear, and IT, which is the management of the information. And you all know the developments of IT in terms of data management, and these two worlds are converging. If you combine those two, the new possibility provided by the technology evolution based on the solid grounds of technology, this is how we are going to deliver optimization for energy and for process. So this is what the world looks like. This is a condensed vision of the electrical world that we all live in. If you look at this, this is an overview, aerial view of a city. And in it, what do you see? You see a combination of buildings, roads, industries, so factories. You see power plants. You see maybe some infrastructure. And you see also all these arrows. You see a grid for power distribution across this virtual city here that you see on the screen, right? So this is going to be our world of tomorrow, and the efficiency of this whole set will come from the combination of all the technologies I've mentioned before. Schneider Electric business, we go from what we call plant to plug. We do not produce electricity. We do not produce let's say, the devices that consume, for example, lighting, for example, electric motors, but we produce, deliver to you all the solutions in between. Coming to the Internet of Things, this is what we do at Schneider, and this is the main theme of this seminar. The word that we use, our brand, if you want, the brand of Schneider Electric for Internet of Things is called EcoStructure. EcoStructure in Indonesia, with the R. So what this is bringing two things. Innovation at every level. And I will explain the two parts of the sentence. Innovation, what's coming, at every level, what does that mean? And you will see this repeated in all of the 60 booths that you will see outside. Innovation first. What has been absolutely astonishing and tremendous in the past 10 to 20 years, let's say, has been the advent of all the technologies that you see on the screen. Number one is the mobility. 10 years ago, the beginning of the iPhone was really the beginning, right? Today, it's a normal way of life for us. Today, the power of deciding, having the information, the relevant information, is in everybody's pocket. Whether it's for your home consumption, your own home consumption, or whether it's for your business. Nobody wants to accept anymore that you can do wonderful things in your, let's say, private time, and when you come back to work, it looks like the good old days, traditional, very boring, not so efficient. So mobility is a major transformation, number one. Number two, cloud. The cloud, so basically the storage of data in a virtual place that can be shared, so in very, very large quantities that can be shared across all the various users, is also something which has been tremendously growing in the past few years. And now we have generations of servers in the cloud that allow for the maximum security for data management and huge capacities of storage. Third one has been the sensors. More and more miniaturized sensors to be able to detect what environment any object is in. If I am an object, if I am carrying a lot of sensors on myself, and all these sensors are going to give information to the outside world of the temperature which is around me, about maybe the humidity, about my heartbeat, my blood pressure, or you name it. Huh? So every single object can be monitored with very, very clever and very, very small now sensors to give information to the outside world. Analytics, I already mentioned it, the capacity to project based on very, very complex data that none of us human brains can process anymore, too complicated, too many scenarios. So processing this data to do simulation, simulate a very complicated process automation is absolutely key before making the investment to see how the system, how the regulation is going to work, how it's going to behave if I change these parameters is something really, really important. And of course, all of this relies on cybersecurity, which is also a super important project, as you can understand. So this is the innovation. We, in 2017, we have at our disposal all of these technologies that came in various disbanded order, but now they're all here. We can make use of that to solve the big challenges we have ahead of us. Again, efficiency, get more profitability for our businesses while doing this in a sustainable manner for the future. At Schneider, this is how we materialize it. This is the explanation of the at every level piece of the sentence that you see behind me. Basically, the way we want to articulate this eco-structure, this system, if you want, is around 3 layers. And I will go through each of them. We still operate in our traditional businesses, building, data center, industry, and let's say energy grid. This one, no difference. But what we do for all of these sectors, we articulate a system that we call eco-structure on 3 layers. The bottom layer that we call connected products is basically all the good products, the good things that all of you are installing or have been installing or will install in the near future into all the installations which are part of your business, right? These are the products, the things. The new area is the intelligence that is embedded. All the new generations of Schneider products come with embedded intelligence, all of them. All of them have, or most of them have embedded sensors to give a much more exhaustive picture of the environment they are involved in. Is there a flood? Is there an arc? Is there a problem of magnetic pollution? Right? We can detect this. So connected products is the base, is the foundation. But connected what for? Is the question that everybody's asking. Why do you want to be connected? You do not want to be connected if you do not make use of that information. This is useless. And this is where the play of EcoStruxure and IoT comes into life to create some value. We have two additional layers. One is called edge control. Complicated word to say something quite simple. It means a premise, a site, if you want. This hotel is a site. In the jargon, we would call that edge control, right? We are on the edge of the control. The reason why we have this level is it's important for reasons of safety, reactivity, to be able to be on site and intervene if you are in the control tower of this hotel, to intervene very quickly once your intelligent devices have told you where the fault is. If the aircon suddenly goes off in this room, we cannot continue our seminar. This signal will be sent to some control tower, some kind of system which is aggregating this data. We call this edge control. That's for the hotel. This hotel is part of a chain, Mulia, multiple locations across Indonesia at least. I don't know about outside Indonesia. The people in the leadership of Mulia, what they are looking for, they want to be sure that this hotel delivers the best experience for the customers every time, at all time, and everywhere. That is, they want to be sure that they do this in an efficient manner, are capable of bringing more efficiency to the network of Mulia hotels across the country, right? And this is where the third level applies, apps, analytics, and services. In this level, it's mostly software-based, whereby we are capable of having models to project or put some initiatives to do a better job in terms of control, monitoring, and action to do a more profitable business. This is EcoStruxure. This is the model that you will see repeatedly in the coming hours and also tomorrow, for those of you who will come tomorrow. This is our solution to this connected world, using as a foundation the fantastic products that we can bring. In terms of physical structure, what does it look like? We have designed at Schneider, if you want, EcoStruxure is our generic name, it's our brand name for IoT. And we will have, because it's not at all the same being in a data center or being in an oil and gas environment or being in a Coca-Cola bottling company factory. It's not at all the same environment. So we have a specific type of EcoStruxure depending on the end market. So we have designed 6 architectures or structures, all of them under the name of EcoStruxure: building, power, data center, machine, plant, and grid. And what you will see throughout this seminar is, on this side of the booth, you will see everything related to the EcoStruxure data center. Around this area in the middle, you will see everything related to building, power, and grid. And on this room next to us, on the left-hand side, you will see everything related to EcoStruxure, machine and plant, the industrial piece. So whichever area you come from, you are interested in the data center, you go that side. In the industrial, in a wide sense of the term, you go that side. And in the middle is the building and the grid for distribution, okay? So why do we want to continue to do all this? We have been claiming in the company that we deliver all these values already to the customers, to you. And we will continue to do this. And these values, what are they? The values of connectivity, the capacity to engage into a larger system, number one. Sustainability. This is something which is not well known, but we have invested a lot of efforts in R&D to get rid of everything that we call hazardous substances. All the, if you want, metals, it's called hard metals, heavy metals exactly. All these polluting components are no more part of the Schneider offers. This started 15 years ago. It took us a long time to be able to completely re-engineer all our product lines, but this is a reality. So sustainability is something, when you buy some Schneider equipment, you buy sustainability. Efficiency for homes, for industries, etc. Reliability and safety of the operators. It is not acceptable 1 second to anyone that the safety of the people that work in your environment or our environment come to work to be exposed to danger. Not acceptable, right? So we do the maximum possible in order to ensure that at all times safety is there. So these are the core values that we have been disseminating to the market for already many years. So what more can we do? And thanks to Internet of Things, we can augment the values that we deliver to you. We can go one step further. For example, we can go from having some reactive maintenance to predictive maintenance, thanks to the intelligence. Rather than wait for a fault to happen, the fault is going to be cleared, so it will ensure safety, it will ensure reliability still of the operation. So if there is an electrical fault, it will trip, the operators will be safe, the installations will be stopped in all safety manner, right? But instead of waiting for this, which is a loss of business because of the downtime, what we can do is move on using this intelligence to go into predictive mode. And thanks to the sensors which are going to be embedded in every single application, we can predict the upcoming of a fault. A typical electrical fault will come if, let's say, the electrical environment gets dirty, if there is an increased resistance in the system, because there is a snake between the two, the two phases of a distribution substation. It happens. We have big snakes in Indonesia. A snake, then the resistance rises. We can detect that before the whole thing trips off. And because we have all this connectivity, then we can get our service teams to intervene on site before it's too late. That's an example of what we can do with the intelligence, and there's many more. So I mentioned predictive maintenance or fault prediction. We can better manage for sustainability, better manage for the distribution of power, all the various sources of energy. Of course, coming from PLN, which is the main driver, but also all the prosumers who produce their own electricity. You as an individual, if you have a house and you put solar panel on the roof of your house, you become a prosumer. For your own consumption, yes, but you can also, if the capacity is higher, you can start distributing this energy to the rest of the world. So remember one thing, EcoStruxure is not a revolution, it's an evolution. So it's an evolution from a state of the business which still needs to be managed with the most solid systems, efficient systems, reliable systems you can have. On top of it, we add the level of intelligence for augmented values, right? This is what EcoStruxure or IoT is bringing to all of your businesses. So that's our very own Jakarta. So you will see increasingly in Jakarta these kind of things, and of course elsewhere in Indonesia. Indonesia does not equal Jakarta. I apologize for all of you who do not live in Jakarta. But we will see many of these EcoStruxures spread across the country at every level, as we commonly say. To develop this value, we do not have Schneider Electric the capacity and the competence to do everything on our own. And we will never have. So if you want, the success factor behind this has been first the trial and error with a number of very big companies, and also the partnership with the best intelligences of the world so that we can bring these systems to you. All the systems that you will see in Indonesia have been tested, validated, and documented. We call this in our jargon TVDA, tested, validated, documented architectures. And what you get at the end of the day is a system which is functional with all the necessary information for operations and maintenance, and it's a proven system. We just don't push the complexity back to our customers. We try the complexity in-house first, and we do what is necessary to come over this complexity. So everything is about value, right? Value in a sense of not only money, how much does it cost, but what is the overall value it generates for our businesses, your businesses. The values could be summarized here like get maximum energy efficiency and sustainability, make the most of what you have. Of your PLN bill is 100, do more with that 100 or reduce the bill for the same activity, right? It's an example. Optimize the assets availability and performance. For those of you who are in the world of data center or industrial activities, everybody knows that 1 minute of downtime is costing the company a huge amount of money. So we want to kill the downtime or reduce it to the minimum in case of a problem. Smart, productive, profitable operations. So reduction of waste is another one. Do a better job in terms of efficiency. And give the power to the people. Give the power to the operators. The operators, if you want, are less and less in all our businesses, are a lot more educated than before. And these people, they want empowerment. And they can have this empowerment. You are bosses, right? You have people working for you. And you know that all of your people are looking for being empowered because they feel and they are bringing some value to your business. So to give them the empowerment, they can have this empowerment in their pocket so that they have the best possible sets of data on their mobile to make the best decision in the given circumstances, rather than just replicate without knowing what we've been doing for the past 20 years, right? So these are the values that you will get through EcoStruxure type of systems. In the final part, we'll go a bit quicker maybe. I will show you some examples of applications, and again, you will see all of these examples in the various booths around me. So here's the application, for example, of EcoStruxure in the building environment. That's the building. So you recognize the 3 layers I have been talking about. So here you have, let's say, intelligent hardware, to put it simply. Intelligent hardware, intelligent things, which are great things. For example, we've been in this breaker or UPS business for decades. So you can have the best product available on the market, plus intelligence embedded, plus sensors embedded. So all of these actually are the foundations of your architecture. At the level of the premise or the site, now we are looking at software packages, all under the EcoStruxure umbrella, and also in the analytics. And here is asset management, is efficiency, is having the right information to be able to do the control and monitoring of the environment and make decisions on what to do for better optimization. So that's an example in the building. So it can apply, as you can see here, to healthcare, would be a hospital. A very critical building is a hospital. Nobody can accept to have a power failure in an operating theater, right? Nobody, especially if you are the person lying on the, nobody wants this, okay? So you understand it's a critical building. Another critical building, for example, would be a data center. It's a critical building also, but in this case, office or commercial building, a shopping mall needs to be operated, and a hotel like the one we're in. So that's an example of what we can do for the building. This is another view on this the ground level here. It's a zoom on the circuit breakers, which have been the trademark of Schneider for many years. We are coming now to many new generations of what we call connected circuit breakers, smart panels, the same good old thing, plus added intelligence. And what we do with this intelligence, for example, we can access all the parameters of the panel of the breaker without touching it. You don't have to open the panel. The big risk when you open a panel is safety, right? You always run the risk of having somebody who is going to put a torque inside, open the thing and touch the live equipment. You don't have to do that. You can sense and get all the data needed for maintenance, for example, wireless. At the level of a building, you can get, that's the upper level, you can see here, apps, analytics, services, edge control. You can get information of abnormal consumption. You have your average consumption of the location you're in. If suddenly you see a drift in consumption which is abnormal, these kind of analytics will tell you, and you will be able to act for better efficiency. You can benchmark the energy consumption versus equivalent businesses elsewhere, etc., etc. That's an example of an architecture we are running now in Indonesia. It's in Solo, central Java. So this is for a hospital. Again, a very critical target because of the criticality of the application. And what we have sold to these people is basically our connected offers. So with UPS, so that's for secure power, isolation panels, which is basically a standard switchboards, but insulated, noise insulated, so that it can be positioned in the operating theater room or close to it. Noise monitoring, it has to be a quiet place. Smart X controller would be controllers to orientate the data, plus the smart structure and power structure to be able to intervene and control the Indriati hospital. You can imagine very quickly that if there are multiple hospitals from the same chain, you can have an upper layer across many locations in the country. But the efficiency doesn't have to be sometimes very, very complicated. Sometimes we can utilize very simple devices, something like this. This is the smallest intelligence wireless controller that we have. It's a sensor. It can be installed on any existing installation. It gives intelligence to the existing dummy, stupid circuit breakers, contactors, etc. We have anything. Huh? So it's a meter, right? And it provides information such as current, voltage, power factor, all these things for which in the past we all had to invest into more sophisticated and costly devices. Everything works wireless, and it can be captured into a simple controller. We call this power tag.
It's amazing how simple actions can change our lives. A simple gesture that allows man to connect with machine and people. A simple motion to connect with one or millions of others. Now there's a simple motion that allows you to connect with any circuit breaker, anytime, anywhere. Introducing Schneider Electric's Power Tag. It monitors and secures in one simple action. Monitor it, secure it, tag it. Power Tag, another great connected product from Schneider Electric. Innovation at every level.
It can be simple, it can be small, and it's available. In the grid, which is a distribution of energy, so for us in Indonesia, mostly PLN. Here's the vision of EcoStruxure for the grid. On the connected products level, the traditional ring main units, MV switchgear type of equipment are positioned here with intelligent capabilities. You will see some smart, if you know these products, SM6 displayed there, smart ring main units, RM6 also. So you will see this in terms of application, and we have also some edge control and analytics in order to be able to control the actual distribution network of a grid, a city, of an area in the country. So this is the same logic in terms of EcoStruxure. You start to understand that it's a constant, it's our silver line across businesses, always the line of intelligent connected products, the line of edge control at local level, and the line of cloud at global or multi-site level. Delivering grid efficiency for higher performance. So this is an example of what can happen. And we have tested this kind of approaches with a number of important customers, one in Italy, one in the Philippines, and one in Denmark. So this is how we trialed and we did our learning. We learned by walking, by putting those activities into place, giving capabilities, for example, in this case, of we can be aware at any time, in real time, of the situation and intervene in case of a problem. And for the apps and analytics, here is predictive maintenance. What I was mentioning before, in case of a substation, a switchgear piece which is overheating, we can detect this ahead of time before it's too late and before there is a power cut. In Jakarta, we are now developing this project that is called, I think the name speaks for itself, Zero Downtime Project. We do this with a PLN and in 2 areas right now. So one is already in operation in Kuningan, and another one will be coming this year in SCBD. And basically here is the same, again, the same idea. It's a very smart way of making sure that the power cut is reduced in case of a failure. In case, for example, there is a mega storm in Jakarta, which happens very often, then the lines are broken because of any reason of a tree or whatever, then there is a possibility to get back into action very, very quickly in a smart possible way, thanks to all this intelligence which is embedded. In industry, again, same thing. So here, this time, you don't find the switchgear anymore. What you see here, you still see the motor control centers, the switchboard panels LV, the speed drive, the sensors, the motor starters, the valve positioner, etc., and the man-machine dialogue that we call touchscreen. Aggregate all this information together, and here you have the control tower at edge control at the plant level, process automation. This has been in operation for many years already. In the world of industry, industry has been the area that has started it all in terms of evolution for control in a process environment mostly, because it has been a necessity for many, many years, right? But now it's bleeding to other areas like home and data centers and etc. Okay? Here's an application which I think is interesting in terms of service for a machine. You all know that a machine is a moving animal. Every time you have a moving part, mechanical part, there is a risk of failure because of usage and wear and tear. If we have position, or if we manage, so this machine here is a bottling machine, so for a bottling company, so typically Aqua, typically Coca-Cola, typically Bintang in Indonesia, right? So these machines, if we position smart sensors inside the machine, we can detect what is the state of the machine at all times. We can detect if the time of usage is already passed, where it's better to do some preventive maintenance. And all this without touching the machine, without stopping the machine. We can do the maintenance when the machine is stopped, let's say during the weekend, for example. So it's safe, it's modern, it's quick. Sometimes the machines have been there for a long time. Sometimes we have no idea where are the user manuals. Machines that were purchased. Typical application or example is we are in Indonesia, the machine comes from China or comes from Germany, was ordered 15 years ago. All the people that did this at the time was all paper. There has been a fire and no user manuals anymore. Nobody knows where is the information. What we can do through a smart search is access live with the operator's tablet the state of the machine, download the necessary user and operating manuals so that the person can do the intervention very quickly and in the most efficient manner. I hope this gives you a good feel of what we really mean by augmenting the values. You can do the same thing that what you did before in the same conditions, but more, right? More, not just for the sake of doing more because it's fashionable, but more because it has a lot of value, either in terms of human values for safety, business value in terms of profitability and efficiency. So all of these are real essential values across every country and across every business. Here's a small video.
This is John and Marsha. Like all great love stories, John and Marsha met over coffee. Marsha joined the coffee factory 2 years ago. 2 years ago, operations management used data collected by Wonderware Historian to make optimizations. they introduced Pack Drive 3 to improve their packaging productivity, which led to increased profit. Increased profit meant they could hire Marsha as a maintenance agent to look after machines in the coffee factory, such as the time when she was notified by an alert from the out-of-hour process drive that there had been a malfunction. At the same time, PLC M580 motor controllers had automatically reconfigured production and diverted beans to a new grinder. Now Marsha could diagnose the problem with her augmented reality app and send a report to a plant operator, like John. John could then reorganize production and easily validate repairs using situational awareness from his Wonderware InTouch app. Yep, it's amazing what can happen over coffee. Another process made possible by Schneider Electric. Innovation at every level.
The best news of all is this is not a Star Trek movie. This is not science fiction, right? This is the reality of what we can live today in Indonesia. Everything is available now, so we can make it happen together. So it's not a futuristic, we're not here in a 15-year projection seminar. We are in the reality of things. Services, a little bit more of what we can do, that will be the final part in terms of values. So thanks to all this intelligence embedded into all the applications, the components, the systems, there will be increasing data available for energy metering, for building management systems, weather monitoring systems. This is something which you don't normally hear from a company like Schneider Electric, but because of the intelligence, we can prepare, thanks to weather forecasting models, we can prepare the state of installation depending on whether it's going to be really hot tomorrow, whether it's going to be a rainy day, not in our case, if it's going to be freezing tomorrow, snow. So we can integrate parameters of data which were a few years ago completely alien to the system. We can integrate those extremely easily thanks to connectivity and intelligence, and those can be available by everyone or to everyone in the form of information, of manageable information. Occupancy data or water usage are other types of services that we can find. So the reality I was talking about is in 2016, globally, for Schneider Electric, I mentioned to you earlier 25 billion euro in terms of business. 45% of that has been done with elements that were part of the presentation I'm delivering to you right now, which means intelligent products, intelligent switchboards, software applications, apps, etc. This will impact everybody. Be absolutely certain of this. I am sure you're already convinced, but every single business that we work with at Schneider will be impacted by this transformation, by this evolution I was talking about. And we work globally in Schneider with most of the largest oil and gas companies. In Indonesia, we work closely with Pertamina and associated companies. Most of the mines, mining metals and minerals, so steel manufacturers, the mining for extraction of raw material, food and beverage, all the companies that you know of. Water, wastewater plants, extremely important. That's also a utility, and that's also a critical energy for the future. Clean water is going to be the next battle for everybody. The buildings, obviously, the top utilities, out of which PLN, 3 of the top largest hyperscale cloud providers, that's for data center, and the packaging machinery, mostly for the food and bev industry. This is Schneider Electric. It's exciting. I think it's an exciting moment in the life of our combined industries because the world is changing and we have a wonderful opportunity to make that change for the better, and we will be so proud of it for the coming years. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a great visit here. It's our honor to have you, and ask questions, as many questions. We have brought here in this place all the experts, the best people, the best knowledgeable people that we have in the company to be able to illustrate to you the state of the art, where we are today. All the questions, don't be shy. We are also learning, you are learning, and we'll move that ball together. You will see also some panels of discussions with people, not only Schneider people, but there will be some discussion on various themes that will happen during the 2 days on different subjects, such as the new world of efficiency, such as in the data center world. So join those panels. I think it's all very good, interesting, eye-opening information for all of us. Thank you so much, everyone.
At Schneider Electric, we are focused on improving your business's safety, reliability, efficiency, sustainability, and connectivity. We do this with EcoStruxure, our single, open, IoT-enabled system, which allows us to innovate at every level, across connected products, edge control and apps, analytics and services for your enterprise. Leveraging our deep domain knowledge and applied experience in 4 end markets, we deploy solutions based on 6 validated reference architectures: building, power, data center, machine, plant, and grid. At the heart of our IoT system architecture is the EcoStruxure platform, connecting everything in your enterprise from the shop floor to the top floor. Collecting critical data from sensors to the cloud, analyzing data to discover meaningful insights, enabling you to take action by closing the loop through real-time information and business logic. The EcoStruxure platform is the foundational technology backbone on which Schneider Electric solutions are built and delivered. The platform enables embedded connectivity and intelligence using standards-based communication protocols and the ability for smart devices to perform native analytics and make controlled decisions. It assists developers, system integrators, and your engineering staff in building applications such as monitoring, visualization, and control systems for implementing smart operations across your enterprise. Leveraging scalable Microsoft Azure IoT technology, the EcoStruxure platform allows Schneider Electric to deliver value-added digital services to help optimize your operations. It is now simple for you to both adopt and build IoT-enabled applications that drive tangible business outcomes from the latest advancements in mobility, cloud technology, sensing, analytics, and cybersecurity, while ensuring that those applications are quickly scalable and deployable in an industrial-grade, mission-critical computing environment. The EcoStruxure platform is our latest innovation in a decades-long evolution, which combines our best-in-class OT solutions with the latest in IT technology, empowering you to maximize energy efficiency and sustainability, optimize asset availability and performance, enable smart, productive, and profitable operations, provide mobile insight and proactive risk mitigation, foster open innovation and interoperability. Enabling innovation at every level, the EcoStruxure platform is the key to unlocking trapped value in your operations and tapping into the true potential of the Internet of Things.
Oke, boleh kita berikan tepuk tangannya sekali lagi Bapak Ibu sekalian. And also thank you very much for Mr. Xavier Denoy for explaining to us. Tadi sudah dijelaskan juga mengenai si EcoStruxure ini. Bapak Ibu sekalian, jangan khawatir, nanti kita akan berikan waktu juga untuk Anda. Kita akan melihat-lihat bersama Innovation Hub, nanti kita saksikan untuk EcoStruxure ini seperti apa sih teknologi terbarunya juga dari Schneider Electric. Kita akan hadirkan di area foyer, nanti masih mendekati jam makan siang. Jadi Bapak Ibu sekalian, untuk sesi selanjutnya Kita akan melanjutkan Innovation Summit ini dengan mengikuti berbagai panel discussion. Akan ada beberapa diskusi panel yang akan kita ikuti sampai dengan sore hari nanti. Dan tentunya untuk tamu undangan yang datang dari industri oil and gas, atau mungkin Anda datang dari mining, minerals, metal, kita juga menyediakan ada sesi khusus untuk kelas track ini. Nanti dapat Anda ikuti setelah jam makan siang di sesi Innovation Summit Process Automation. Nanti akan kami informasikan lebih lanjut. Selanjutnya adalah diskusi panel. Untuk diskusi panel kali ini yang pertama akan kami bagi dalam 2 ruangan Bapak Ibu sekalian. Akan ada di ballroom 2 tempat kita berada saat ini, dan akan ada juga di ballroom 1. Ballroom 1 adalah yang ada di sebelah Anda. Saya akan jelaskan sedikit. Di ballroom 1, ballroom samping, akan diadakan discussion mengenai intuitive industry. Di Intuitive Industry ini akan kita hadirkan pembicara dari Charun Pokpan, Indosem.